afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand. Welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Thursday, June 2nd, 2022, a little after 3 p.m. Eastern. When you're grateful, fear disappears and abundance appears. Anthony Robbins. What kind of viewpoint do you have as you go through life? Challenges are, as we know, constant, and it depends on the frequency that we set for ourselves. The universe is not pushing you or deeply loving you. The universe is responding to the vibrational attitude that you are emitting. The more joyful you are, the more well-being flows to you. Abraham Hicks. If you feel that you have a specific dream or desire that is just too big for you to achieve, then it's time to start using a super fuel to get your manifesting engine roaring. Perhaps you have this lofty goal that's as difficult to reach as flying to the moon on a paper airplane. Maybe you want to erase a huge debt, triple your income, take a 6-month trip around the world, manifest your soulmate, run a marathon, write a bestseller, or perhaps become a famous musician. Whatever it is that you want, big or small, it doesn't matter. When you feel this deep, intimate connection with the all-powerful universe God source, you know that anything is possible for you. I'm sure many of us have experienced things that in a blink of the eye, everything changed. It's almost miraculous. It just happened. It's not like you were expecting anything or looking for anything out of the clear blue. All dreams and desires are manifested with effortless ease for someone who is in touch with the universal mind. The moment you feel this connection with the universe and start visualizing what you want, magical things begin to occur. How much time do you spend consciously feeling connected to the universe and visualizing that your desires are coming your way? 5 seconds or 5 minutes? What are you spending your time visualizing? Are you imagining what you want or what you don't want? Are you wasting your time watching someone else on TV live out their life dream? If so, how is this habit empowering you? Did you know that according to a 2004 study by the University of California, the average American watches 170 minutes of TV a day? All right, so what's that? This is 10 minutes shy of 3 hours. Hunter says probably, who knows what it's at now? That was 18 years ago. What would happen if you took the time to visualize yourself manifesting your ideal dream life instead of entertaining the ego watching TV? Watching TV is an activity that lowers your overall manifesting vibration because most shows, movies, and programming are focused on some complaint or horrific drama about life. Watching TV is an activity that lowers your overall manifesting vibration because most shows, movies, and programming are focused on some complaint or horrific drama about life. They make life seem more complicated, problematic, and unconsciously teach you to follow the dynamics of having poor, unenlightened relationships. If you want to increase your vibration and start living an empowered life that you love, turn off the outer TV. Devote that time to your inner TV. Use your time on this planet wisely. Your mind is very powerful. Harness it to only visualize yourself doing what you most want to see, experience, and have manifested with the inner TV of your mind. Many of us have been caught in old visualization habits of worrying, fearing, and hoping things are different than what they are. Just notice where you are when you're spending your time on activities that are not boosting your manifesting vibration. Perhaps you keep affirming that you want to change your life and manifest more abundance, yet you constantly slip back into familiar patterns of procrastinating, hoping, praying, and wishing things would change. If you are engaging in any activities that are leaking your manifesting energy, you are probably experiencing what it feels like to run up a mountain of molasses, slipping back down. If there is one thing that is 100% certain in this world, it's that your entire life will change when you truly shift your mindset. The secret to engaging your super manifesting, it's like a booster rocket, is learning how to generate a magical manifesting mindset and doing it first thing in the morning to create this amazing state of mind. First, set the sacred intention every night before you go to bed that you're going to have a highly charged, emotionally joyful, playful, and deeply inspirational approach to the following day. This intention needs roots and wings to really get your manifesting engine roaring, which is why we've created its backbone. It's a morning manifesting routine. This is a sacred routine that's very conscious, heart-opening practice where you begin your day in an empowering, expansive way by just devoting 40 minutes each morning to this routine. The manifestation of your dream life will happen naturally and effortlessly on its own accord. So it's recommended that you use your routine as a template to create your own personalized manifesting routine that you'll stick to like super glue for at least 90 days. In humans and in nature, the early bird definitely gets the biggest worms. We have found that one of the most important aspects of all is getting your manifesting mindset going the night before so that the moment you wake up, you are pouncing on your dream life. Whenever the mind gets addicted to positive, inspiring thoughts, it doesn't have the energy or time to entertain the negative ones. Whenever the mind gets addicted to positive, inspiring thoughts, it doesn't have the energy nor the time to entertain the negative ones. When you make it a living priority to practice this vibrational routine every morning, you'll find it super easy to be in a positive, connected state of mind all day long. So you consciously choose right now to jump on the life you most want to create by visualizing and feeling yourself getting up early, doing your manifesting routine tomorrow morning. Keep it up for 6 days, and you'll see the results will be staggering. So by devoting at least 6 days a week to doing some version of this routine, you'll experience a power you never knew was possible. Every morning that you do your manifesting routine, your vibration will be lifted. The best fuel you'll ever find in life comes from divine inspiration, which we often find naturally occurs in deep states of rest and relaxation. This is what your seventh day is all about. This free day from your routine is the super juice that will cause your booster rocket to lift out of the stratosphere and land on your dream planet. Devoting the next week of your life to this experience is a commitment that can change the rest of your life. Remember that the moment to start focusing on doing this routine is now, not tomorrow, not next week, or even another day from now. The mind may say that you'll get to it when you have more time, more money, or when nobody's around. The longer you hesitate, the harder it can become to adventure out of a perceived comfort zone and move full steam ahead towards manifesting your desired outcome. You just do it. You do this routine tomorrow morning and see how you feel. Go to bed early so you wake up with plenty of energy. Extra energy will help overpower doubts, negative thinking patterns, and increase your consciousness, which naturally starts attracting your desires to you faster and easier. The more time you spend thinking about, planning for and practicing your manifesting routine, the more inspired you'll become. You'll find it's much easier to reprogram those gremlin voices into becoming inner advocates who will support your life's mission and actually help you arrive faster at your desired destination. So it's time for us to grab the reins of the mind and harness our inner super fuel over the next 7 days with doing a morning manifestation routine. Decide the exact time that you will get up and exactly what will you do in this routine. Write it down in detail. One aspect of your assignment this week is to create your personalized version of your manifesting routine. It's always today is the day to start, but the ego mind will say, no, you can do it tomorrow, and you can do it the next day. And it's oftentimes that the ego mind interferes all the time. It's, you ever have something that you want to do, and then it kind of goes, well, I'll do it tomorrow, because you're not really motivated to do it. But all of us can choose to move ourselves into always working towards a higher vibrational frequency. You're down for any length of time, right? We all get exasperated at times, of course. But if you're down for a lengthy period of time, what happens is that everything deteriorates or goes in an opposite direction, which then a lot of people become more infuriated and upset and down and depressed and, all the rest of it. So it's not that easy because, I don't think that we're aware that we really, it's not like we do it on purpose. Our emotions get the best of us, and we go into a lower vibrational frequency. We start depicting and worrying and stressing and fearing. And, of course, that lowers our frequency more, which attracts more of the same. And I think sometimes we know this, but we still do it. Because, have you ever gotten angry or frustrated and you go down that path? You kind of, in the back of your mind, know, I should be directing this energy in a positive direction. What can I be grateful for in this very moment? What am I happy about? What am I thankful for? What do I appreciate? And it's a counterbalance to keeping you from falling too far in low vibrational frequency. This is the manipulation of this planet, where the civilization is literally goaded and directed and pulled into lower vibrational frequency by what is going on around them. And they take that in, and that's where it begins to get very sneaky, so to speak. And so people can get more and more infuriated and frustrated, and it draws more of that low frequency energy. And you may have experienced this and how do you manifest good stuff? You don't. You can't. You don't move energy in the form created in reality experience and a high vibrational frequency. You move energy into form and experience low vibrational frequency. And you've probably noticed, and we've all gotten angry, but when you get angry, how long does it take you to recover from the anger? And Some of us will carry that anger for years, which pulls us into lower vibrational frequency. If we were cognizant all the time of our frequency and what we're putting out, and we got in the habit of doing that, we could correct it quickly. So if we start falling into a depression or into an anxiety or into a fear, we switch it. We know that when we increase our heart frequency to a higher level, and that we love ourselves and care for ourselves, it will move us out of the lower vibrational frequencies, which cause us so many issues. This is the only reason why not all of us are manifesting what we desire. It's the main reason. If you were to visualize a picture of the universe, and you are the universe and the universe is you, and you see the universe and it's sending out these it's like a golden thread of energy. It's a high frequency, and you can see it. It's actually going towards everyone and through everyone, saturating them. But then you'll see some that are below it, that drop below that frequency, and it's not hitting them. It's not coming to them. It's going right over their heads. And on this planet, there's a lot of that going on. There's a lot of people that are beneath the constant flow of abundance frequency coming from the universe. If you visualize that, so you say to yourself, what can I do to move myself back into that stream of abundance that the universe is sending out to me? Well, you increase your vibrational frequency through loving yourself. A lot of people have a hard time doing that. And you begin with that, and then you start going into gratitude for the heart mind, thankfulness, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness. And you watch what happens. You could literally see yourself moving up in your vibrational frequency and plugging back into the consistent infinity flow of abundance coming in from the universe. So it doesn't shift. See, it doesn't lower itself. It stays the same, always, infinity and beyond. So it's us that when we identify with that, we know that we have to raise, we don't have to, we choose to, raise our vibrational frequency. Do we want to stay in worry, stress, and fear? We all go there. None of us are exempt from it. We all go there. And it's not, see, when you're not in there a lot, it's uncomfortable when you're not there a lot. It just doesn't feel good, and you know it, and so you bring yourself out of it. And no matter what's going on around you, everything around you, you've created. You created. And you acknowledge that. You say, well, I created this. And why the heck did I create this? What am I doing? Am I learning from it? So it's like you have a dial, right? And you can dial up the frequency. You just turn it, and you move up, or you turn it down, and you drop. There's two avenues for us. And we are to do that. And you say, I got to turn my dial up. Okay? I got to turn it up. I've got to move myself. I choose to move myself in a gratitude level that's high, a joy level that's high, and a appreciation, thankfulness, gentleness, kindness, and generosity at all times. Even when we slip and we fall down into the goop. And then we have what I call stinking thinking. And you go into stinking thinking. We all go into stinking thinking at times. And we drop down into the stinking thinking. And then we start saying, I'm going to need a checkup from the neck up. Because I cannot, I don't do well in stinking thinking. So I'm going to increase my vibrational frequency by giving myself a checkup from the neck up and understand that I like staying in high vibrational frequency. It's 1,000 times better than low vibrational frequency. So you catch yourself. And you say, well, I don't care to go there. You might feel yourself getting a little flustered, irritated. You say, I don't care to go there. because you've been down that path and you know what it is. So I'm going to stay in a higher vibrational frequency, well intended, through the love for myself, my intention, my understanding, my gentleness, kindness, and generosity, and humbleness with myself. And you'll find what happens is that the sinking feeling and the worry feeling falls away. You can feel it leave you. It's there. It doesn't disappear itself. You move out of it. And that's the main reason that this planet happens to be what happens on this planet. That's the main reason on where we are vibrationally and our frequencies. And not being cognizant of the fact that we're in low vibrational frequency. Many people don't know they are. So when you transcend to a high vibrational frequency like 5D, it's because you're aware that you practice keeping your vibrational frequency high. And you begin to realize, well, this body's temporary. I'm not going to be in this body forever. So I choose to enjoy things, joy and bliss and happiness most of the time. And obviously we slip in there once in a while and we get flustered. But we don't do it a lot. So you do it less and less and less and less. And eventually it'll have such a nasty taste that you'll not ever go there. You'll catch yourself before you step in the goop. So if you will, go to the place where you're not going to be interrupted. And I'm sure that we all are. And the first thing that we care to do, it's absolutely paramount to relax these bodies we're in. And the best way to do that, everybody have tried every kind of way, artificial, whatever. And it just doesn't work. The breath is the way to relax the body, through your sacred breath. Easy and slowly in through the nose and easy and slowly out through the mouth. And you listen to the breath. Now, the ego mind's going to try and pull you out. It'll try in the beginning, but we can't let them go there. They're going there. They're going to go into the now. I don't exist there. I got to pull them out of there so they don't go in the now. That's why some people will go into meditation, get distracted, and they'll go out of meditation. So when you focus on your breath, you do move into the now. And the now, no matter how much your ego mind's going to debate with you, because it will, is all we have. Because, see, it knows it doesn't exist in the now. You know what else it doesn't exist in the now? That mind chatter we all have, 24/7. And all of the thoughts that fly by like clouds in the sky, those thoughts are not ours. And you might as well call them programs, because that's what they truly are. And this is where we'll be in the now, and then we end up somewhere else. You've ever done that? And you just float off. You grab onto one of the clouds and it takes you off somewhere. But the interesting thing is that when you practice being gentle, kind, humble, generous with yourself, and you stay in the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest, deepest, and purest of the purest, purest, eternal gratitude, you'll be able to say, not a big deal. I will focus on my breath, and I will move into the now. And you'll move into the now 3,000% of the time, which is every time. So see, that's not difficult, that part, because you focus on your breath, and you're automatically in the now. Now, the trick here is that you can find yourself standing in front of three pathways, and you start off in the middle, the now. And you've got one on your left, one on your right. One on the left is the past, one on the right is the future. And you can see where the trees have formed canopies over those paths, golden, shimmering leaves, branches, bark. And you notice the path itself is this brilliant emerald green flaming grass. It looks like grass. It's actually energy. And you notice that the past and the future are really, they're used. They're very, very used. And the now that you're on looks almost brand new. The reason that is because the ego mind keeps us out of the now. It's because it's master over us. It masters us. The mind masters us. It doesn't mean we know that, but that's what happens. So that's why there's so much pain and suffering. People are, the ego mind takes them into the future or the past or the future, past, future, future, past, future. And so this is why we suffer, because we're always striving ahead of ourselves into the future, wanting to know things, or going back in the past and living in the past. So to focus on the now is the breath. Everything happens in the now. Now we all do reminisce when we go into the past. We take that path on the left. And we do it at times because it's nostalgic and it feels good to reminisce things that we did that were really fun and enjoyable. And we also will use, it's kind of like the Great Hall is what I call it. And the subconscious mind stores everything, records everything throughout this life that you're in now, and all lives that you've been in, and other people. And so then it plays it back. It's like an old tape-to-tape recorder. It just plays it back over and over and over again. So we'll go into the Great Hall, and we'll open the door, turn on the light. And normally when you walk into a room, you see the walls and you see the ceiling. But not here. It is so vast that you don't see the walls or the ceiling. Nonetheless, you'll go to different shelves, and you'll grab some books and some pictures and some movies. And you'll go over and sit in an easy chair, and you'll have a screen in front of you, and you'll be able to watch some of the movies, read some of the books, look at some of the pictures. You reminisce. And you may go back and say, well, this is a time I did this and it didn't work. Or it didn't work very well at all. Now, I think if I try it this way now, in the now, it may work. You try it a different way. And we use it kind of a guide and a reference. It's kind of like our Encyclopedia Britannica and dictionary combined. But we don't stay there. We'll reminisce and go through things, and then we'll get up and put everything away. We'll turn off the light, open the door, and we'll move forward to life, and on occasion we'll revisit. But some of us will stay there. And we end up staying there so long, I don't think it's conscious, I think it's unconscious. We end up staying there so long that we end up taking that past, bringing it into a future that doesn't exist, and then we create that future from that past, and we relive that past and that future. This is why a lot of people will say no matter what we do, we always seem to end up here. Now, we all go in the future. The reason we go in the future is because the ego mind is constantly poking us. You ever feel like you're being poked, pushed? It's just like there's some energy that's pushing your shoulders forward, being, come on, move. You got to find this out. You got to know this. And sometimes it's just overpowering. So we go in the future. We take the future path. And we seek external authority. We want someone to tell us what's going to happen in our future. Not everybody does this, but a lot. And so we'll go to tarot readers, tarot cards, crystal readers, tea leaf readers, and palm readers, and pendulums, and clairvoyants, and psychics, and astrologers. So they give all this information based upon the cards or anything else that they're using, and then they give you a depiction or an understanding of it. In 3 months, this is what's going to take place for you. Judging from your chart and how the planets are aligned through the astrologer's reading for you, or some of the others. This is what the cards say. This is what the crystals say. And then you say, wow, and the questions are usually, money is usually first. Health is usually second, and love is usually third. And so people want to know in advance what's going to happen. Am I going to meet the one, my lifelong romantic partner? Am I going to have a lot of money? Right? And am I going to be healthy? Like, is there anything wrong with me now? These are key areas of requests. So it's like when I was doing readings, those are the key areas. Now, some people react like, okay, it's not a big deal. You know, they just kind of take it stride and leave it alone. Other people will, say, this is great. I believe this, and I believe it'll happen, and thank you. And then there's other people that just fixate on it. Then they get attachments to it and expectations. And so they look for the time, the day that comes that all this is going to happen for them. And they look and they look and they look and they write it down and they keep looking and looking and waiting and waiting and waiting. And, I hope this happens. And they start doubting it and fearing it. And then fearing it won't happen. And then next thing you know, none of it happens. You know why? Because they put themselves lower than the stream of abundance that everybody receives. They lower their vibrational frequency with doubt, fear, anxiety, and attachment. So they turn the dial down. Now, the other one that accepted it said, okay, I believe it'll happen. I'm going to leave it alone. Universe will take care of it. And guess what? It does. And they do. The other one just kind of, throws it off, doesn't give it the time of day. Sometimes it'll surprise them and come in, but most of the time it doesn't happen because they don't have that manifesting interest with it. They don't believe it, we'll put it that way. So this is why we go into the future. Now, the now will always be our sacred place because the now allows us to go within. It's an inward journey, not an external journey like we've been doing for eons, thousands of years, seeking outside of ourselves. Now, we're all parts of each other, the gods that we are in these bodies. So see, there's no separation. The body is the illusion because it gives us all the feeling of separation. And we see with these eyes and we go, well, I'm separate from, my neighbor down the street or, these people that I see as I walk up. But that's an illusion. So we know that all that exists, all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever, is you, the God that you are in that body. All of us. And there will come a time where we will discover that for ourselves. And it'll be confirmed. Which means eventually you can be anywhere at any time, period. And obviously we're not there yet, but the acknowledgement of it and the understanding of it through the heart-mind is halfway there. So that's why we all gather on this. We don't gather, we're just here. We'll put it that way, focus in this direction around this planet. And we're here to liberate it. We're here to increase the vibrational frequency really high, which is happening. This human resonance has really grown exponentially, unbelievably so. And the actual vibratory frequency of each one of us on this planet, or the gods that we are, is increasing. We are moving through a massive photon energy, a light energy belt, which will take about 2,000 years to complete. So we're being literally, saturated in light energy. And what are the gods that we are in these bodies? Light energy. So you can see why we're increasing our vibrational frequencies and why all of the lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies, all of the the goop, the vileness, is now out in broad daylight. It's not hidden anymore. It's been totally revealed for everybody to see for themselves. And so as a collective consciousness, the vibrational frequency of the collective consciousness continues to get higher. With each one of us that wakes up, it goes higher. And it doesn't have to be everybody on the planet, not by far. But we increase our awareness as a collective consciousness, not the body, as one consciousness. And then what we do is we change things. The planet's changing much more rapidly than it usually does. The people on the planet are changing much more rapidly than it normally does. The frequencies are at a much higher level of vibration, so things are being revealed at lightning speed, and comprehension is start to kicking in for those who are awake. And so they understand that things aren't going low, they're going higher. And when the frequencies go higher, the lower frequencies freak out, because their molecular structure starts vibrating to the point where they almost blow apart, vanish, vaporize. And that's exactly what's happening. So as we continue to increase, and those that do awake on a daily basis, the frequency continues to go up. And eventually, some of you are already in a 5D frequency because you notice a lot of difference. You're not interested in entertaining yourself with the crap. What's happening, what's going on, this and that, and court cases and all that crap, because it's crap. And you start to realize that you are motivated to change the frequency and shift your life. And your life goes into a generating feeling of happiness and joy and appreciation and gratitude. So you don't become quagmired through the ego mind to be in the goop and trying to get out of the goop. It's like people who in this country or anywhere on the planet watch TV, their frequency is automatically lowered. It's a guarantee. Their frequency is automatically lower. And so you've got maybe, 3 hours of viewing time or more in this country. It's probably more now today. And their frequencies slow down because what they're watching is really crap. And it's not pleasant, and it's not uplifting, and it's not joyous, and it's not positive, and it's very destructive. And that's why the TVs were created, to keep the vibrational frequency of the civilization at a low level. So you focus on why would you take that energy in? You wouldn't. That's why more and more people are eliminating their televisions. They're not interested in it. And it's amazing what happens, because when people say, I haven't watched TV in over a year and I feel great. And then people say, do you know what's going on? Have you heard lately what's happening? Occasionally you'll go on the internet and you'll kind of look at things. But I'm going to tell you, it's all about you. It's all about understanding yourself, loving yourself, forgiving yourself, and caring for yourself. Staying in gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness with yourself. And in deep gratitude at all times with yourself. And I'm not saying you don't slip, because we all slip. But as you practice more and more, the higher your frequency will go, and the more you will stay in the now, and the more you'll be in gratitude. And so if you aren't engaging in things that irritate you, right, you won't be irritated. It's pretty simple. If you engage in things that are going to irritate you, you're going to be irritated, and your vibrational frequency will drop, and you'll attract more. And know this, that any time that you shift your frequency, your vibrational frequency, to a higher level, things change immediately. It doesn't take them days. It's immediate. Your feelings, your emotions, your attitude in a higher frequency is totally different, as we've all experienced this, maybe not consciously, but where we just go into a good mood, a good feeling. And you say, where did this come from? Well, you might have inadvertently dipped into the God that you are. And you just all of a sudden feel this bliss. And it comes through your whole body. And it's phenomenal. It's like a big, huge hug from the God that you are. Now, we have all kinds of parts of ourselves inhabiting physical forms. We have ascended masters, right? Now, they don't inhabit physical forms at times, but other times they hold pure consciousness God form. That's Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Christ, El Morya, Bendantia, Pel, Thoth, Yahweh, Yeshua. You know, we've got other civilizations and species in this planet and underground cities. You know, we've got inner earth, hollow earth, beneath earth, Agartha. These are all civilizations. And the gods within them are the same as the gods in us. And we have off-worlders. You know, we're only familiar with a few of them. You've got the Pleiadians, Assyrians, Arcturians, Andromedans, felines, Zeta Reticuli, Anunnaki, Nords, Greys, Draco, Reptilians, Golden Pyramid, Avian. And the gods within their bodies are the same as the gods within us. So you kind of start getting the understanding is that we're all one, right? And we're pieces of each other. And so each of us are experiencing different lives, different avenues, different experiences, but some of them are very similar. And we continue to progress and move forward life after life after life. We're always moving forward. Sometimes it seems like you're standing still, that no matter what you do, you just don't seem to be moving. You ever had that feeling? Where you just kind of go, it just doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel like I'm moving. And it's because of lower vibrational frequencies. So we are cognizantly aware that you feel everyone and the focus on this planet of higher vibrational frequencies. And we're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-negativity. Stillness of the mind, ego. And we concentrate on the fact that we're all one, we're all God, and we're all love. And our God force, love, light, energy continues to grow, expand, and intensify. This is our frequency. And we form a massive white fire circle of light around the equator of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this now. And this emanates from the gods that we are in these bodies. It's pure, deep, eternal love. It's the highest of the highest high vibrational frequencies. And it floods, saturates, and permeates this planet. All life, the highest supreme value in the universe. There's no escape from it. I mean, it saturates and permeates everything. Infinity and beyond. Omnipotently powerful. So we began to ascend. We're immediately met with a massive ocean of glitter. Now, it's not. We don't see it here on this planet. So we pick things that we have experienced that we feel will identify it because we want to identify it. And so we take a grand finale fireworks display, a grand finale laser light show display, and the ballroom globe, where you shine light on it as it turns, and it floods the room with light. It has perfectly tiny etched mirrors. And so you combine those, you intensify them a trillion times, and one massive crescendo and one burst of light, and it's absolutely magnificent. And so that comes near to describing the ocean of glitter. And we see all the reflective points, all of us, and they're perfectly tiny little microscopic edge mirrors everywhere. We enter them and we discover that all of us, no matter where we appear to be, right, which is the illusion, are teaching each other and learning from each other all the time. Infinity beyond. Now, some of us are too distracted through the ego mind and material physical world, and so we miss a lot of it. We don't miss it all. We miss a lot of it, though. And others of us, like if you can remember when you were a child, did you ever look at something and say, I wonder what it'd be like to be that? You can do that now. And you can go into a quiet meditation, and you look at something. Could be a tree, a bush, a rock. Could be an animal. And for a moment, you'll know what it's like to be that physical form. It's really wild. And so, you know, everything around you is teaching you. Everything around you, everything outside of you is teaching you. Trees are inhabited by other gods that want to experience the physical life of a tree, right? Rocks, bushes, animals, cats, dogs, cows, mooses, wolves, bears, bugs, you know, insects, all kinds of things. And it may be brief. We may enter a physical form that's only lasts a couple weeks. Okay? Then we go and enter another physical form. You imagine how in deep gratitude we would be to experience these physical forms and know what it's like to be these physical forms. Can you imagine that, you know, someone, let's say someone shoots a deer, right? Bow and arrow. And for a moment, you're that deer. And then you experience the trauma of being shot with a bow and arrow from a hunter. What do you think would happen? What do you think would happen? You probably would never, ever shoot another deer because you would have experienced the trauma of being shot by an arrow or gun. You see, we disconnect. We don't know what that's like. Life is life. And at times, to provide for ourselves, that's the only time we would take life to provide for ourselves, like animals, to feed ourselves, but not for sport. A friend of mine was an avid hunter, and he ended up having an experience, not like he intended it, it just happened. For a brief moment, he was in the deer, and he felt all of the trauma and pain and anxiety that that deer was going through after being shot, which he's the one that shot the deer. He never hunted again. I've never seen such a look on a person's face, that the look that he displayed from me. It was sheer terror. And it wasn't he was intending it. A good guy, you know. At times he'd go hunting, get some deer, venison, and, you know, have it for his family. And that happened. It just happened. And he just freaked them out. So see, we have these opportunities. We can inhabit physical forms, the God energy that we are, and experience those physical forms, as we do with these bodies. Okay? And we get addicted to inhabiting bodies and experience that. And of course, we inherit the ego mind and the subconscious mind. Now, we create columns of light. And we create these columns of light, and there's carriers for the columns of light to remind us the gods that we are in these bodies. So we have Archangel Raphael, who carries a column of light, which is an emerald green flaming healing light. And Raphael reminds us, the God in Raphael is no different than the God in us, but he reminds us that we are the power of healing, the gods in these bodies. Archangel Michael carries a column of violet, blue, purple flaming light. And he's there to remind us of our omnipotent power, strength, and resolve, the gods that we are in these bodies. And then we have a white fire light that creates a white fire armor around our physical bodies, inside and out, head to toe. Now, these armors that we have, these white fire armors, they're created to remind us that we're protected 24/7. And nothing can penetrate them because they're very high vibrational frequency of pure, deep, eternal love. It's not like armor that you put on like on this planet. It's way beyond that. And so you don't have demon possession, attachments, all kinds of things happening with lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies. It just doesn't happen because your vibrational frequency is at a rate, a level, that they would vaporize if they came too close to it. So they stay away. Right? So we're protected 24/7 infinity beyond. But only you have the power, only you. That if you lower your vibrational frequency low enough, whether consciously or unconsciously, through hatred, fear, greed, anger, revenge, deception, manipulation, dishonesty, worry, stress, fear, hurry, you will absolutely create a breach in your white fire armor. Enough so to allow lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies to come flooding in. Now, when you do decide to do this, then you call upon a double column of light. We create these. And this double column of light, the first part of it is the purple transmuting flame. Reminds us that we can bring in the purple transmuting flame. We can transmute all of this lower dark matter, survival matter frequency into neutral light substance, send it to pure consciousness, or it's no more. Second part of this column of light is the violet ray. We created this part of the column of light to remind us that we can bring in the violet ray. We can cleanse and purify the area where these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies were, sealing the breach in our white fire armor, restoring our vibrational frequency to the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest, eternal love, gratitude, peace. Then we're met with a column of light that we created, the gods that we are in these bodies, to remind us all. Golden, white, pink light reminds us all that we are the sun, the sunlight. We are the rain and the rainbows. We are the sunsets and the sunrises. We are the oceans, the rivers, the lakes, the streams. We are the clouds and the skies. We're the animals. We're the trees and the forest and the soils and the mountains. We're everything. Everything is us. And see, we're so conditioned to think outside of ourselves, to believe that the body is all there is, and that we're separated. So when we look at these views of a rainbow, an ocean front, or a sunset or sunrise, we immediately say, that's really beautiful. Look at that. Isn't that spectacular? And it is, because it's you, the God in that body. So when you come from the heart mind, you look at that and say, that's the God that I am. It changes everything when you understand that you, the God that you are, is everything. And everything is you. Now we continue to ascend above the planet. Some of us that are carrying physical form step outside of our physical form and hover effortlessly above it. The reason we do that is because we can, and it's fun. Now we come into full contact with this massive crystalline light tower. We created it, the gods that we are, larger than the solar system and beyond. Center of the column, we identify a massive oblong sphere. The center of the sphere is a huge golden white ball of light. It, in turn, is surrounded by numerous multicolored rings of light that go to infinity and beyond. This all creates a supermassive, super bright white, sparkling, flickering cloud, like a mist. And then it comes in and it's absorbed through the heart-mind, right through the chest. And it's like a warm embrace that never ends. Now we discovered that the golden white ball of light is the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, and purest of the purest purest, eternal love. Then comes gratitude, well-being, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, massive prosperity, and massive abundance. And then we discover that all of this is a reflection of the gods that we are in these bodies. We come upon our meditative sphere. It's that center circle. We created this sphere over 4 years ago. It holds nearly 1,900 of our meditations in perpetual motion. Now, these meditations, they grow, they expand, and they intensify. And this meditative sphere is saturating this planet with these meditations everywhere. On it, in it, above it, below it, 24/7, infinity and beyond. This is super omnipotently powerful. It is the highest of the highest high vibrational frequency, and it's intensified. So for over 4 years, we've been doing this, hundreds of millions of us on and off world, consciously aware, which means we know we're of and from the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest, eternal love. Now you can literally dip into and watch what's happening with this planet. And you do that by breathing, focusing on your breath. Moving into calmness through the breath. And you can see everywhere that we have created, the gods that we are, the pure consciousness, a field. As you can see through it, but you can also see hues of golden white pink lights shimmering. Now you also see this super black, goopy stuff, which is lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies, corrupted, pure evil, twisted souls, and they're floating up. It's like a vacuum. It's this massive vacuum. It's just vacuuming up in the upper atmosphere. Well, as they're being vacuumed up, as they're ascending, they deteriorate. They start flashing and more and more and more disintegrate. And if they do make it to the sky level in the upper atmosphere, which is a golden white pink light, as soon as they come into contact with that, it's one big flash and they're gone permanently. And this is what's happening on this planet, Earth Gaia Arya, right now, 24/7, infinity and beyond. So it's good to do this on occasion. Today is a laughing day. You take 30 minutes to laugh about everything and anything that you can. You may need to fake it until you make it happen, for real. Yet let the bubbling joy of your belly shake you free from any stuck energy inside. Let yourself laugh more than you have in years today. Think of only things, those things that lighten you up. Be a crazy, silly willy until your belly hurts. You'll get a good core workout in your stomach as well. I'll join you in the meditation, and I'll return to close us out. Take an easy breath in through the nose. And an easy breath out slowly through the mouth. Be still. Tapping into the infinite source is not easy. It is effortless. Just be still. Go within. Stay there. Explore the deepest silence you can imagine. Observe the mind. Listen to the thoughts. Soon you will glimpse the reality. And in one instant, you will understand the most powerful realization of all, who you truly are. After one moment of this, you will see you have the power to manifest everything you think. Take this with you for the rest of the day and the evening and night and the following morning. And we will return here Friday, June 3rd, 2022, 3 p.m. Eastern to continue our global guided meditation call, and 9 p.m. Eastern to continue our reverse aging health call.